Seasons, atmosphere, and global warming. Every now and then, we feel the weather changing. It is warm one day and cool the next day. Seasons. The Earth has seasons because its axis is inclined. As the Earth orbits round the Sun, its tilted axis always points in the same direction. So, throughout the year, some parts of the Earth always get direct sun rays. The North Pole tilts towards the Sun around June. After 6 months, when the Earth is on the other side of the orbit, it is the South Pole that tilts towards the Sun around December. Thus, the different seasons on the Earth are caused due to the axial tilt and positional change of the Earth at different points on its orbit of revolution around the Sun. Diagrammatic representation showing occurrence of seasons. December. Direct rays of the Sun fall on the southern hemisphere, while on the northern hemisphere they are more slanted and mild. The southern hemisphere thus experiences summer while it is winter in the northern hemisphere. March. Both the northern as well as southern hemispheres receive equal amounts of the Sun's light and warmth around this time. Thus, the northern hemisphere experiences the spring season while the southern hemisphere experiences autumn. June. The direct rays of the Sun fall on the northern hemisphere, whereas they are slanting and mild on the southern hemisphere. This causes summer in the northern and winter in the southern hemisphere. September. The Sun shines equally on the northern and southern hemispheres, thereby causing autumn in the northern hemisphere and spring in the southern hemisphere. Types of seasons. The diagram here shows the seasons experienced by the two hemispheres at the same time are opposite. Spring season. This is the most pleasant and beautiful of all seasons. It is characterized by moderate temperatures and cool breeze. The days and nights are equal in duration. Summer season. In this season, the days are longer and nights are shorter. Temperatures are fairly high. People have cold, icy water and drinks and use coolers, climatizers, and air conditioners to beat the heat. Cool, and light-colored cotton clothes are preferred. Children love to play in water, which is the best sport at this time of the year. Autumn season. This season is also known as fall. It is recognized by falling or shedding of leaves. Winter season. This season is characterized by short days, longer nights, lowering of temperatures and cold winds. People staying in cold places wear woolen clothes and use quilts in this season. People use heaters, geysers, and hot air blowers, etc. to keep themselves warm. Factors that affect the climate and weather. There are many factors that affect the climate and weather of a place. 1. Distance from the equator. Places situated closer to the equator are warmer than those further away from it. 2. Proximity to water bodies. Places near water bodies like seas, oceans have moderate climate. Even the places near rivers or lakes are cooler. Areas far away from the seas and oceans have extreme climate with very hot summers and cold winters. 3. Places situated higher, such as in the mountains, hills, or even plateaus, experience cooler climatic conditions. Atmosphere. The atmosphere is divided into 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere is the first layer above the surface of the earth. The layers of the atmosphere near to the surface of the earth are denser than the ones further away. Weather changes occur in troposphere. This is the layer where clouds are formed and rainfall or precipitation occurs. Physical features like temperature, humidity, air pressure, cloud cover, and altitude play an important role in weather phenomenon. The other layers, including the ozone layer, absorb and or reflect back the harmful rays of the sun. Water cycle demonstrates the cause and effect of oceans, seas, mountains, land, and troposphere on weather phenomena. Seasons, atmosphere, and global warming. Sea breeze. Land absorbs and cools faster than the sea. Post-afternoon, when the earth releases heat, the hot air from the land rises and cool, humid air from the sea blows towards the land. These are called sea breezes. Land breeze. Unlike land, water absorbs and releases heat much slowly. So, in the night, when the land is cooler than the sea, the air above the sea rises and cool breeze from the land blows over the sea. This is called land breeze. Water cycle. It is also known as the hydrologic cycle or the H2O cycle. This cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. The heat of the sun causes evaporation of the water from the water bodies in huge quantities. Temperature is the physical factor that influences this. Higher the temperature, greater is the evaporation. Another physical factor that increases evaporation is the wind. The greater the speed of wind, more is the evaporation. The water vapor rises in the troposphere where it cools and condenses. These get converted to water droplets or snowflakes depending upon the temperature. The clouds so formed then come down on the earth in the form of precipitation as rain or snow. On the earth, water flows to rivers, seas, and oceans, while a part of it gets absorbed by the earth and is called groundwater. This whole series of steps are repeated and take place continuously in nature. This helps to recycle water. Moreover, the saline water from the seas and oceans gets converted to fresh water. Trees also play an important role in evaporation of water from land through the process of transpiration. The falling of the water droplets on the ground is called precipitation. The different forms of precipitation are rain, snow, and hail. Rain. The condensed water vapor in the atmosphere forms clouds. These clouds become heavy and come down to the earth in the form of rain. Snow. When air in the atmosphere is very cold, the condensed water droplets convert into ice in the form of snowflakes. Snowflakes are of different shapes and sizes depending upon the temperature and humidity in the area. Hail. This type of precipitation occur in places where rains are frequent. In these places, sometimes in winters, the water droplets freeze into marble-sized pellets of ice. As these are too heavy to stay overboard in clouds, they fall on the earth, causing hailstorms. Hailstorms are mostly accompanied by thunderstorms. Condensation of atmospheric water vapor. The water vapor in the cool air comes in contact with the relatively warm land and condenses in the following ways: dew, frost, fog, mist, smog. Dew. Water vapor in the air at night gets deposited on relatively warmer surfaces like stones, leaf blades of grasses and plants. This is called dew. Frost. In cold places where the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius, the dew on the plants freezes. This is called frost. Frost is very harmful for crops. Fog. It is a thick cloud of tiny water droplets suspended in the atmosphere at or near the surface of the earth. It becomes thicker when the nights are cold and windy. Fog reduces the visibility and makes traveling difficult. Mist. Very thin fog is called mist. It flows and blows with the wind. It is more often observed in the mountainous terrains and close to vegetation. Smog. In cities and towns where the pollution levels are high, the fog, when settles close to the ground, combines with the pollutants that also settles close to the ground at night. This is called smog. Seasons, atmosphere, and global warming. Global warming. The earth is naturally warmed by the rays of the sun that enter the atmosphere. Some of the gases in the atmosphere are called greenhouse gases. They absorb the heat of the sun and keep the earth warm in the nights. This prevents the earth from becoming drastically cold after sunset. But in recent years, due to the increase in burning of fossil fuels and cutting down of trees, the greenhouse gases have increased above their optimal levels in the atmosphere. This has resulted in rising global temperature accompanied with melting of ice sheets around the earth. This is referred as global warming. Effects of global warming. 1. Ice sheets in the polar regions are melting sooner and faster, causing the sea levels to rise. 2. As the oceans warm up, marine life is getting affected. 3. Excessive rains, wildfires, extreme heat waves, and droughts are the effects of global warming. This results in overall climatic imbalance of the planet. untimely rains, increase in the number of hurricanes and cyclones are also some of the effects of global warming. Human activities have accelerated the process of global warming. Some of these are deforestation, the clearing of land and forest areas at an alarming speed for human settlements, industrial development, agricultural purpose, etc. is called deforestation. Burning of fossil fuels. Vehicular traffic and use of fossil fuels, that is, petrol, coal, and natural gas, is releasing huge quantities of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases absorb the heat of the sun, thereby raising the temperature of the earth on a global scale. Erosion. Clearing of trees has accelerated the process of soil erosion. The roots of the trees hold the soil to the ground and also help to slow down the speed of the flowing waters. Absence of trees is causing landslide and flash floods, harming human settlements and life. Emission and effluence of industrial waste into rivers and seas. Factories discharge a lot of chemical waste into rivers, lakes, and other water bodies in their vicinity. These chemicals are highly toxic and they harm the flora and fauna in the area.